Well, that was painful.
But that's only from that all started coming in Monday.
Yeah, it still was painful. Well, I don't mind. I mean, the letters were fine. It was just us. We were painful.
We're always painful.
I know, but sometimes I just keep expecting.
It's part of our charm.
As much as I say I have no faith in humanity, I keep thinking one day we'll do something right. So far, I'm 0 for 65 plus years. Listen, before I hurt myself anymore,
yes.
Like, subscribe, and follow. This is Truly News, because when you hear, I have alligator stories.
Oh, cool.
I have loads of I have actually, today's worth of alligator stories.
Okay, well, that's loads.
And then maybe one for tomorrow.
I think
who knows?
Maybe a large group of alligators is known as a load.
So if you like things that can, swish you in the water, drown you, and then put you in a bank so you soften up before they eat you, like, subscribe, and follow. This is Truly News, because it's kind of like what we do.
What's not to like?
Yeah, I'm thinking. We don't have the scales yet, but there's always hope.
Yeah, I've been trying to contract eczema. I'm doing my part.
Like, subscribe, follow. If you have a weird story, like if you read a story and you hear it in Scott's voice, send it to us at TITR@netradio.network.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
Taking a cue from commies in the U.S., China.
Commies?
We've got plenty of them. Look at the latest, PC movement. Those authoritarian commie poop heads. China is
I thought they were just socialists.
Oh. Nope, they're not. They're neo-Marxists, and they're idiots about it. China is now considering a law banning clothes, don't get too excited yet, that hurt the feelings of others.
So I'd have to get rid of my collection of I'm with stupid shirts and sweatshirts?
I think probably. This from Bloomberg. China's public is expressing concern about a potential legal change that would allow for fines and jail time for people who offend the government's sensibilities by wearing the wrong clothing. In the back with the dumbfounded look on his face.
So if the government is, stupid and a Marvel fan and I'm wearing a DC sweatshirt, I could be in trouble.
Potentially, yes.
Genius. This should help tourism.
The Standing Committee of the nation's legislature
maybe
recently
if we got him a chair,
released a draft of revisions to the law it is considering that would forbid a range of behavior, including dress or speech, quote, detrimental to the spirit of the Chinese people and hurt the feelings of the Chinese people.
Still, we're not going to China then.
The lawmakers, in typical fashion, didn't spell out exactly what could get people sent to a detention center for up to 15 days or fined up to 5,000 yuan. That's $680 American. They have listed.
And yuan is the loneliest number.
That's cute. I've never thought of that, and I'm ashamed of myself.
I thought of it, and I'm ashamed of myself.
They have, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it, Tony? Being us.
Being us it's not easy. I'm just saying. We make it look so carefree.
And easy. They have listed the law among their priorities for this year. The draft law highlights how Chinese leader Xi Jinping has clamped down on civil liberties in the nation for some 1.4 billion people over his decade in power, including.
So would Xi be considered Mao light?
Well, he probably hasn't killed as many as Mao did.
Well, it's early days, though. He's only been around 40 years.
10 years, yeah. He can get it.
He's only been in charge for what?
10.
Yeah.
Decade. Honestly, it seems longer because the guy is such a puke.
Centuries.
He stepped up internet censorship and the like. Police in Suzhou, a city near Shanghai, detained a woman last year for wearing a kimono in public. You want to know why?
How did a kimono offend people? Oh.
Japanese.
Yeah, never mind.
And they like to kind of hold on to World War II as much as possible. Authorities, and it's a bit hard to blame them based on what went on, but I think the Japanese have changed their tune. Authorities have also clamped down on people wearing shirts with rainbows at concerts and distributing flags on a university campus that had pro-LGBTQ symbol on them. The flag episode occurred at the prestigious Tsinghua University, which gave 2 students official reprimands. Many people in Chinese social media expressed concern the proposed changes to the law may be going too far.
I was going to say maybe they were just Christians and their flag meant that, the Noah thing.
Exactly. One user
Doubtful, but maybe.
One user of the Weibo social media site, who goes by the handle, oh boy, you ready?
Nope.
Nalan Lang Yue, asked how authorities would know. No, it's not Proto-Hawaiian. Well, how authorities would know when the nation's feelings would be hurt.
The nation would look at them and go, "You've hurt my feelings."
Like all commie authoritarians, they'll know it when they see it.
Or hear it.
Or think they've heard or seen it.
Feel it in their bones.
Or if they don't like you.
Okay, now you've made me change my mind. I'm not doing total alligator stories today.
Okay, fine.
China. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you done?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
China's Great Wall. Ooh. You've heard of the Great Wall of China. And no, by the way, you won't see it from space. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, but it is cool. I've seen documentaries on it.
So China's Great Wall has been pierced by Genghis Khan.
Yes.
The Manchus.
Mm-hmm.
And now, allegedly, a couple of construction guys named Zhang and Wang who wanted a shortcut.
Why does this sound like Mack and Meyer for hire for China?
I'm just picturing Abbott and Costello for working here is what I'm seeing.
Either way.
Yeah. They'd be more Chinese in this picture, but authorities in China arrested 2 people for smashing a path through a section of the ancient wall, somewhat of a cultural icon and United Nations protected heritage site. Well, I don't care about that part. The area of the breach was a broken down section far from the restored segments most Chinese and foreign tourists are familiar with. Or
so was this way up in the north?
Permitted to see. The government of Yoyu County, hundreds of miles west of Beijing, showed your old dirt road through a section of the wall against a rural landscape, along with the 2 suspects identified as a 38-year-old man surnamed Zheng and a 55-year-old woman surnamed Wang.
So they were also 58 years old.
DC sweatshirts.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So they're in double trouble.
Yeah.
The pair simply wanted a shorter route for some construction work they were doing in nearby towns, according to the government report. The section lies in Shaanxi province.
Okay.
Can I help you? You want to Google that and see where it is?
Well, it's west of Beijing, so okay.
Sure. On a map, it's this close.
Yeah, right.
The section from the moon, it's even closer. The section lies in Shaanxi province at the western extreme of the wall, parts of which was constructed 2,000 years ago.
That's true.
It's relatively well preserved, holds important preservation and research value, said the local government. We won't let anyone look at it because it's old and decrepit.
Yeah,
but it's important anyway.
Big stretches of it are.
Which sounds like any historical society that I've ever heard.
Well, the thing is really old.
Yeah, a lot of things are really old and don't need to be kept in pristine condition.
Like us.
Dude, we haven't been in pristine condition since 1969. Maybe the spring of 72 would be the latest we could probably.
I was still playing rugby in 76, 77, and 78.
See? By then you were well past pristine condition, dude.
Especially by the time I finished with it.
Had any ankles or knees go by then? Back gone yet?
Back was giving me trouble.
There you are. China places immense pride in their system of towers and connecting walls wide enough for carriages to pass. It stretches approximately, this is just a guess, 5,500 miles.
Yep.
And was built mainly during the Ming Dynasty.
Yep.
You remember Fred and Melissa Ming? It lasted until 1644. In that year, the Manchu tribes people from the north overcame China's defenses.
Yeah, in some cases, it's just a dirt hump in the way.
Took over the empire as the Qing, Q-I-N-G. I would say King Dynasty.
Q-I-N-G, Qing.
Yeah.
Q's are pronounced C-H in Pinyin.
Chul. The wall was subsequently...
That's spelled with a C, you dumbass.
Potato. tomato, oregano. The wall was subsequently abandoned and plundered for bricks and stones by local villagers, only to be revived by the communist government as a symbol of patriotism. Like that one, Vladdy? Huh? Patriotism? Mass mobilization and resistance to outside pressure. Really? That's going to... Dude, the Manchus way back in the early dynasties got through it. Resistance to outside pressure? What, boys with pea shooters?
To go the whole Doctor Who route, resistance is futile.
The Yaoyu County government, and Doctor Who's probably been there once or twice.
Actually, that's not Doctor Who. That's Star Trek: The Next Generation with the board.
Same thing. The Yaoyu County, just different uniforms. The Yaoyu County government said the arrest. Why is it, by the way, that Doctor Who, who's got a time traveling TARDIS, ends up in modern day in current London so often?
He likes current London. Oh, so they're paying for it.
Well, yeah, it's easier that way. The Yaoyu County government said the arrests were made after a report of the breach on August 24th. It said the two suspects were in custody with further legal action pending. By the way, their DC sweatshirts were confiscated. In its citation of the Great Wall,
party members have been seen wearing them at orgies.
UNESCO, United Nations, bunch of letters afterwards that nobody really cares about, except the UN, described it as reflecting the, quote, collision and exchanges between agricultural civilizations and nomadic civilizations in ancient China. There's a whole other paragraph.
Whatever.
No one really cares that much.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see if we find out what happens to Zheng and Wang.
There we go.
Zheng Wang.
Wang Zheng.
Whatever.
Everybody Wang Jing tonight.
No.
Historical oddities. Well, just one historical oddity. The very first McDonald's was opened at a car hop drive-in in California by the McDonald's brothers, long before it evolved into the global mega chain hamburger joint we know today.
Which is just a crock.
Opened Ray Kroc. I get it. Art. Opened in
Just waiting to see.
Opened in 1940. There were still some elderly veterans of the Civil War around.
Yep.
They could well have been some of the first customers to come through, especially, and this is something I didn't know.
There was something you didn't know?
I know, it's shocking. Me and the Pope talk about that all the time, right? Ooh, you're going to like this even better. They could well have been some of the first customers, especially since the earlier versions of the menu were more directed towards barbecue than Mickey D's staple burger and fries. Now, this is true.
Wait. What kind of barbecue?
They don't say.
I mean, there's Kansas City, St. Louis, Texas. I think they've all got them. Louisiana.
It's fast food. I think it's a mashup of all of them.
I don't think it's probably the same fast food thing as we were thinking, but okay, go ahead.
This is true. Really's crack investigative team says there is no truth to the rumor that squirrel, raccoon, and Hassenpfeffer were included on the menu. And now back to Tony for something sensible.
I doubt it. Hang on, before we do that.
I've been clever.
At the new China restaurant, they have little meat skewers.
Okay.
It's just a hunk of chicken, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But when the girls were little, and ever since I told them that it was squirrel. So they'd always get some squirrel.
I get some squirrel.
And the first time they were going to order from home and pick it up,
they couldn't find squirrel.
We want this and squirrel. And my daughter didn't quite know what they were doing, and she was on the phone and said, squirrel? You know, it's got a stick through it. Chicken, sure.
Yeah. Well, squirrel tastes a lot like
chicken.
Squirrel.
All right, now my first alligator story.
Alligator tastes like chicken, puffy chicken. It's really...
For those of you in the Mac Revelation, you'll love this first line. A large reptile whose ancestors lived among dinosaurs millions of years ago, or, Thursday.
They're still dinosaurs.
Yeah, they are.
Or sharks.
Yes. And no, don't go there. Was recently photographed waiting for have a dinosaur being photographed waiting for a store to open in Louisiana. In the Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's Office, a post shared to Facebook has a big old alligator that was found waiting ever so patiently outside a local Dollar General store in the pre-dawn hours.
Boy, does that say the South?
Here's what I'm telling you.
Jessa, did you see it? Did you see that alligator?
Gators don't wear wristwatches. They don't have cell phones. How can they tell time? So they figure the sun's starting to come up. I'll go wait. I am curious where he kept his billfold, but I don't really want to know.
He is the billfold.
A nice pair of shoes, maybe a handbag. Photographed by Deputy Tony Polisano outside the store's sliding glass door as the alligator appeared to be about 6 feet long. Joking about the encounter with the reptile, the sheriff's office added, for inquiring minds, to the comments section, that the alligator dashed off with Little Debbie's cakes and then was seen heading for a local pond.
He had them stored under the riverbank.
Here's how it was, right? In the comments. For all you inquiring minds, Mr. Gator did pick up his Little Debbie snacks. He hopped in his pickup, went fishing at the Civic Drive Fishing Pier in Post Sulphur. He's just #living the dream. An array of other social media users have since commented, this gator is more famous than any gator should ever be.
What about alligator?
One guy had it right to begin with, man. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, it's looking for a snack. Waiting for those doors to...
It needs to speak, though. It needs to yell out something like, socialized medicine, socialized medicine.
No, I just think
running.
I pictured it has a Cajun accent somehow, and
I can't do a Cajun accent.
I can't either. And you're all welcome for that.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.